Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Good evening again, everyone. Here we are, Weekly Joe, Season 3, Episode 4. I'm Paul Graham, your host at Weekly Joe Pod. Find us there on Twitter. I think we're still on Blue Sky. I'd have to go back and check, but I've been over there a minute. Also on Instagram. Meghan Dennis with us tonight from Conway, South Carolina, home of the national runner-ups last year. Drew Champlin from the Hoover Bureau. And Roger Myers with the team in Frisco, Texas. I think staying in a hotel. Maybe that's Frisco. I don't know. My Dallas suburbs.
Plano was the address. So
Technically Plano. Okay. All right. How was the trip?
It was good. Uneventful. Just a lot of, just like going to Hattiesburg, there were state troopers all along the way.
Everywhere. Yep.
Everywhere. And I guess local police too, but mostly troopers. Yeah. And so kind of.
Hey, it's the end of the month. Everyone got to meet them revenue goals. So
That's right.
Right, here we go. Twin Cities hat on, obviously for Riley Quick, our first round draft pick last year, who was
and Hunter Hoops, and Hunter Hoops
and Hunter. Yep.
Tyler Prelip.
Hunter Hoops, who, by the way, Hunter Hoops, congratulations on his wedding three weekends ago.
3 weeks ago, I believe it was. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly, up in over in DC. It was looked like
that's correct. Yes,
looked like quite a nice soiree. So congratulations to Hunter.
Antoine John was his best man, and
awesome.
And Pink and Jarvis were groomsmen.
Yep. Always good to see those guys. Kind of moving into that next phase of life, and then of course the next phase on a lot of those guys is going to be up to AAA, up to the bigs, and I think we're going to see a lot of those guys up there here pretty soon. So we get in advance of the weekend in Frisco, the Classic with Iowa tomorrow. We've got Oregon State on Saturday. Powerhouse over the last, say, 15, 20 years, right? Three national championships in the last 20 years, if I'm counting right? They got two in a row and then got a third.
That's right. Yeah, I believe it is.
Yep. So, in a little bit of exile, kind of a weird state, being left out of the conference realignment. The Pac-12 implodes on them down to the Pac-2. I think they're playing this year in the Mountain West. And then the Pac-12 will kind of reconstitute next year with Oregon State, Washington State, and a whole bunch of other states. Every team in the league is going to have a state. It's Boise State. It's Utah State. San Diego State. Everybody's got to be state. So maybe we can send them Mississippi State, and Florida State, and some others from here. They'll reconstitute next year. But again, they look like a pretty solid team. I think we'll miss their ace who struck out 17 last week since he'll probably throw Friday. And then on Saturday, of course, we get Houston, who was off to a hot start earlier in the year, and a couple familiar faces on that team or that staff that we'll see coming up. We're here to talk a little bit about the weekend that was the sweep over Rhode Island, and kind of a compressed weekend again where we had 3 games in a little bit over 24-hour period. We take 3 from Rhode Island as expected, and took care of business. Felt like the team got a little well over the weekend. Meghan, I'm sure you watched these intently from your roost there in the baseball sub capital of the country. But what'd you think of how the team responded after what wasn't a great offensive week, to say the least, in the first 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the bounce back I think we kind of expected was going to happen. I think it's hard to look back after what Tuesday ended up being to say like, oh, we got right. We improved from the weekend before, but right. I'd say there's still kind of some gaps to fill. But it was nice to see us actually hitting the ball, making some good contact, and pitching staff looked good. So, that's a positive.
Yeah, so Drew, pitching staff, your thoughts? How the 3 games shaped up?
I thought they were fine. I saw the first 4 innings of Faye's appearance before I went to watch the Birmingham Squadron,
Yeah.
so I didn't see what happened in his last inning where they got three off of him. But I know he
Mhm.
was sit. Our offense did so well Friday that he was sitting in the dugout for 30 minutes between
Yeah.
innings. It seemed like so.
Tough way to pitch.
Yeah, I thought Zane did well. The velocity wasn't really hitting 95 like it was
Hmm.
last week. So, 6 strikeouts, still no walks. That's good. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. He gave up a home run.
Hmm.
At one guy hit 2 home runs, a freshman catcher for them in that game, hit
That
two
guy.
monster shots.
Yeah. Where the hell
To
did that guy come from?
My
Tolentino,
new
yeah, he
my new
played.
favorite player.
He's from Rhode Island, so maybe Rob was aware of him because they recruit up there. And
Yeah.
then Upchurch was really good. I thought on Saturday, I thought Faye was a little better than he was last
Yeah.
week. I
Oh,
thought the
definitely.
other
Definitely.
two, um, Zane probably not as good as he was last week, but not
Yeah.
much worse. And then Upchurch decent hitting wise. I don't know how much. I don't think we really hit the balls well over the doubleheaders we could have. We still struck out a lot in that
A
second
lot.
game.
Yes.
11 strikeouts against Rhode Island. You can't have that. Left on base 10 in that second game. So got
Hmm.
the run rule, but had more runs than hits, and so still kind of a little frustrated offensively. I think
Hmm.
I am, and especially our guys are. But that's kind of where I
Yeah.
think we are.
Yeah, 8, 7, and 11 strikeouts over those 3 games in succession there. So I mean, again, you're it's a team that's going to draw a lot of walks, probably going to get plunked a little bit like last year. But man, we got to get the strikeout rate down, and a lot of that I think is coming from the fact you go up and down that lineup. Fowler has done this, LeBron has done this, Neal has done this, Torres has done this, but strikes out a lot.
Hmm.
And then you get to guys that really hadn't done this at this level, mind you. Rhode Island in that level, but it's Lim, it's Vaughn, it's Osterhouse, Steele, Holt. I mean, it's new guys, and you're going to see a lot of that, right, Roger?
Yes, yes. Getting used to the new surroundings and the new. Well, I mean, we'll really know more when once SEC play starts, or well, really this weekend too.
This weekend, I think, first test, really,
Starting
second
Tuesday as
test.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I include that in for this weekend because
yeah,
I'm not, obviously a legitimate
Mm.
top 10 type team. I guess they were ranked 12th. Um,
right,
and after all these upsets this week, midweek, they may be 10.
exactly,
Um,
exactly. Um,
5 of the top 6 lose or something in that
a
area.
lot, yeah. UCLA took it on the chin. Auburn darn near did to West Georgia, which I thought was Auburn against Auburn, frankly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
LSU took it on the chin. I think that was who was that?
McNeese,
McNeese beat them.
McNeese,
McNeese got
McNeese.
them. Georgia got it from Troy last night. I mean, it's going to happen midweek, right, Roger? Because I mean, you're Southern. Well, for instance, Southern Miss the other night, they're throwing a guy every other inning. We're throwing our regular midweek guy we expect, but
Yeah.
we're not throwing Zane Adams at him. We're not throwing Upchurch at him. We're not throwing Faye at him. So, some teams can kind of go, go for broke and kind of load up on the midweek game because that game's a lot more important to Troy midweek from an
Right.
RPI standpoint
Right.
seeding than
Yeah.
whatever they're doing this weekend.
Because yes, well, this weekend and then although they have very good conference, I mean, so they're not going to get a whole lot of RPI help on several of those
Exactly.
series.
Right.
Um, they, I was told they have 26 pitchers on their staff,
Southern. Yeah.
and they threw 9, and 6 of them it was their first appearance of the
First
year.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
Kid from Vestavia, lefty, came in and just three,
I was glad to see him
strikeouts.
go after an inning. Yeah.
Right, right. And
Mhm.
then the 2 guys that struggled that say walked 2 guys to start the
Mhm.
inning, they pulled them immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one guy went an inning and a third, and everybody else pretty much went an inning.
Yeah.
There was one guy, the Ochi, or the last guy.
The last. Yeah.
They said he was the Southern Miss man that was sitting near me said he was one of the regulars,
Uh-huh.
and had pitched last year a good bit too, and he was well thought of. But
Struck out the side. The second time the side was struck out in that
yes,
game as we struck out 9 times. Well, no, we struck out 12 times.
yeah,
So
well,
tonight, Drew, midweek landscape. I mean, we see it a little bit every year. That's why it felt a little remarkable last year although maybe the schedule wasn't just so. I mean, mind you, we played Southern Miss, you played Troy, and you played some decent teams midweek. Um, Maybe you feel like another year of this whole transfer, free range transfers from place to place. It's leveling out the field to the point that you're going to see a lot of McNeese's beating LSU's and Troy's beating Georgia's. Feel like it's
Oh,
going to be more this year than in previous.
well, I hope so. Not for our sake, but you think about it, this game's a little different for us because if we had won the game, we would have been the team upsetting
Yeah,
the ranked
yeah.
team on the road. So, it's just
What
Southern Miss is just really good every year.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to ask yourself, how is Alabama not like that every year?
Why?
How is
Yeah.
Southern Miss getting so many good players year after year? They've
Mhm.
had great coaches. They just develop. They just kind of promote assistants. Guys retire,
Yeah.
and then I don't know how old this Ostrander guy, their coach, is now, but he's obviously as good
Ever.
as the Scott, what's his face, and then the late Corky
Uh,
Palmer and the guy before Hill Taylor or Denson or whatever's. So
uh,
yeah, they've just got a tremendous program. Really shouldn't be going 14-4 on us in 8 innings, but just how it happens. We didn't throw many strikes. I'm looking at one of Rogers' screen grabs of his play-by-play tweets showed up on my Facebook algorithm right now. I guess because we're talking, and it's unfortunately it's that bottom of the fourth where we gave up. We were down 5-4 because Luke Vaughn hit the home run to twelve
right.
to four. So you're looking Lehman's on walk, Steckmister, bunt single. All right, that's a great play by them.
Yeah.
Bases loaded walk, single, another walk, so another walk. So it's just we weren't
that's
competitive in the zone in that game. It was really
No.
frustrating. A lot of things. I
Yeah.
know we'll get to that. I know
Exactly.
that's kind of
Uh,
where we are.
I think early on in that inning, I sent a text amongst this group that said something to the effect of, "This feels like a 7 run inning incoming." I think it
Yeah,
ended up a 7 run inning, didn't it?
it
yeah.
did. It
I
Well,
did.
think I don't know if they had a run home yet that inning, but it felt like immediately they were going to get seven, and I don't know what I know, but
yeah.
they got seven.
Well,
So
I
yeah,
mean, if they did, even if they didn't, we had 4 hits
yeah, yeah,
and
and
scored
and
4 runs. And
Yeah.
right,
You're down
right,
12-4 after 4 innings. I think it really is going to make even the best teams kind of lay down a
exactly.
bit. And I guess we did. I'm sure Coach Vaughn addressed that with the team, but
Hmm.
I think the most frustrating, we did a lot of things wrong. If we lost that game 8-6, I wouldn't
Yeah,
have been
you
as
wouldn't care.
concerned, but
Yeah.
so many walks,
yeah,
Uh-huh.
uh, so many defensive miscues or just not making the great play. Like in the first
Hmm.
inning, Holt and well, that was really tough.
Over its head. Yeah, trying to
Fowler
catch that.
usually makes that diving catch 9 out of 10 times, and just didn't happen that one. And
Uh,
and then Osterhaus in the whatever inning that was,
uh,
second inning, I think,
yeah, yeah,
just
with the
completely
wind.
missed that ball and left. You can't have that. So
No.
tough game for our guys.
Yeah, game over by the fourth inning. Megan, talk a little bit, and we'll get into games in a minute. But I mean, are you getting a bad vibe about the defensive? Oh, what do you want to call it? Defensive acumen, I guess, of this team. I certainly am.
I mean, yeah, we all know that I homer more than anybody around here, but like even I'm having a hard time finding
Mhm.
nice things to say watching some of
Mhm.
these games where it's just like,
Yeah,
baseball's hard. Baseball's a game of errors.
it's
We
hard.
all know
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But it's been a
Very
lot more
humbling.
errors in things that feel like it should be routine, and we have seen be routine repeatedly
Hmm.
with
Yes, we're
teams
spoiled.
previously. And so it's like now looking at this, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, if we're doing this against Rhode Island, if we're doing this, I
Mhm.
mean, yes, against a good Southern Miss team, but on a Tuesday night, what's going to happen in a few weeks when we're
Right.
in
Mm.
SEC play?
Or
You
this
feel
weekend.
Well,
feels
this
like guys out
weekend
of
too.
position, Megan. Maybe I mean just guys that are learning the position, or you look at him, you're like, hey, this guy might be a good defender, but maybe he's not a great left fielder or second baseman. You feel like that a little bit?
It definitely kind of feels like we've piecemealed it, maybe
Yeah,
more than we have the last couple years under Rob. And I mean, we know we have injuries, especially in the outfield, and so maybe
yeah.
that's playing a role. But it's also like I feel like we do have guys like Brady Neal we could plug into some of these spots and just kind of see what happens. And
See what? Yeah, exactly. And I think Drew, you think you'll start seeing a little more of that? I mean, that had to be a wake up call Tuesday night.
Do I think we'll start? No, I don't think we will. I think we should.
These guys.
We don't change things very often, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we need to. And I think
yeah.
what you know, as our good friends at SEC Unfiltered say, when you get belt to ass done,
Belt to ass. Yeah.
that
Well,
makes you reevaluate things. So, I see these guys, I think they're good baseball players. Are they the best
Yeah.
fit in their current spot? I haven't really seen a lot of, Osterhouse in left field. Maybe he's a better second baseman. That's where he played
Yeah.
last year. Neil, I
Mhm.
think, or not Neil, Holt, his flips to second base that I have noticed in some of these games
Mhm.
have not been very good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not real
yeah, so
rhythm. Yeah.
Panic.
I don't know if anybody else could do better. We've only
Right.
seen those guys out there. Hines has played a little bit of left, so
Yeah.
Coach Vaughn has always talked the preseason about our depth and our great freshman class. So,
Right.
yeah, I think mixing some things up should have been done. Maybe in one of the Rhode Island games, maybe the Alabama State game. You got Hines and left in the
Mhm.
Alabama
Yeah.
State game, so I don't really know that this is the weekend you could just go start four freshmen.
No.
But if things go sour this weekend, then you're going to have to really reevaluate some things. I
Yeah.
think you kind
Yeah.
of need to do something this weekend and just kind of
well,
figure out.
Right.
one thing we change up. We do change up uniforms.
Yeah, do
We're
we
like
bring
Tradi-
our
Oregon. We're like
bring our?
Oregon football with
Yeah.
uniforms.
uniforms and traditions. Yes.
That's all right. Now we got a lot of uniform action going on. Roger, your thoughts? I mean, again, three. I mean, I was had decent teams over the years. I mean, you know what Oregon State is. Houston, it is
Yeah.
solid enough. I mean, it's a competitive weekend. It's not
Right. Right.
it's
I
not
would.
like going into an SEC playing Florida or Kentucky in a couple of weeks, maybe, or Florida in a couple of weeks at home. But it's a competitive game. What do you expect different this weekend?
Well, I was just actually before we got on was looking through studying their schedules and stats and
Hmm.
like I was played some literally some teams I've never heard of the school
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I mean there were
D2s and
yeah,
D2 types.
yes. I
Yeah.
mean they have 34 to one game and a 15, they've lost to a couple of legitimate like if
Mhm.
FAU they beat once and lost one anyway.
I
But
think they went. Did they go down to Florida for a week or something
yeah,
like that?
they apparently they did.
Yeah,
And I mean they had a guy hitting like 577 and they had 38 hits in a game. I mean, so
yeah.
like
It's
they
great.
had
Yeah.
like six guys get 4 or 5 hits against. I mean, it wasn't Wharton because I've heard of them. I mean, it was something
Hmm.
like there was a name like that, and as you know,
Highlands College.
so I mean, I kind of think they haven't seen anybody like. Well, I guess that'll be Tyler's start. They haven't seen
Mhm.
anybody like Tyler Fay or
No, no.
that can. I would expect to unleash his velo a little more uh,
Right.
this week.
They
Um,
beat UW Plateville 34-5.
Okay. All right. Is that Wisconsin? You
it
think? Uh,
maybe, and then it's going to be warmer, so I think and
mhm.
he's built up his pitch count some.
He's
So
yeah, yeah.
I expect him to do to dial it up to the mid 90s and even
Uh,
above or well, what he can reach back and go get it. I feel good about that game, but I know next to nothing about Iowa other than what I just
no, no.
I mean I think they had 2 home runs or as a team maybe,
Huh.
which bodes well because our staff has given up some or Tyler's given up I think a home run in
He's
each
gonna
a
yeah,
home
yeah.
run in each game.
He'll
Um,
give one up here and there, no doubt.
and then Oregon State not we know they're a very good program year after year.
Right.
Their numbers didn't blow you away, and they've played some good competition.
Hmm.
I think they played in one of those tournaments or something
They did, yeah. And they, again, their
already. And they're doing
Friday
this one.
guy
And then
struck out 17.
Houston was kind of the same way.
Mhm.
Not mind blowing stats, but
Mhm.
obviously they've been a legit program, and then we got Ray on the staff there, so we got a little something. We are,
Little
Yeah,
revenge
yeah.
game.
and he's and he recruited a whole bunch of our
A
guys.
lot of these guys, yeah, yeah.
So
So it's a competitive weekend. I mean, there's not
yeah,
none
yeah,
of these none of these games is a pushover for us. It's not like like we thought Alabama State would be. It's not it's not a Rhode Island weekend. I mean, it's your first real challenge of the preseason in a series like this. I mean, the weekend where you're really throwing your best arms and that sort of thing. You like doing this third week of the preseason, Drew?
Yeah, I think with this particular team, maybe like to have another week or so, but
Hmm.
I think this is good to do it now and then have, a non-SEC next weekend. And, we're going to really see, if we roll out the same lineup we did against
Hmm.
Southern Miss, I don't know if we're going to get any guys back from injury like Davenport. Maybe he's the
Yeah, I don't know. He was a
closest.
couple,
See
another
Roger
week or
shaking
more.
his head. So, I'm going to assume no, but, you know, um, I think this is probably what we got. I hope,
Hmm.
some guys can bounce out of some slumps and we can. It'd be
Yeah.
nice to go 2-1 this week. And you think about Auburn, they didn't really look very impressive to start, and
No,
they rolled off a 3-0 weekend against probably similar competition last week.
exactly.
So
Yeah. Maybe
Maybe
and
better,
they
maybe a little better.
Florida State
Yeah.
and
yeah. So
Louisville.
yeah, it's certainly possible that some of our guys can snap out of it, and we can maybe make an adjustment here and there with
Hmm.
rotations. I'm looking forward to it either way. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's what we do here.
Yeah. So through 9 games, the team now is batting 257. I think last week that was like 214. So that went up. It came back down. Obviously, it went up 3 games, came down in the game. Uh, Hitting 257, slugging 444. Give me another stat on here. I can't find it. 14 home runs on the year. Team has drawn a lot of walks, 56 walks. But the strikeouts are piling up now. We're up to
is
81.
it 81?
81 on the strikeouts, yeah. So really starting to kind of pile up. From a pitching standpoint, these are just high level stats. I mean, you're a 4.0 ERA. We're not bad for a team ERA, obviously, but given the competition, if you could do that through SEC play, I mean that'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. And as a staff, and really the Southern Miss game was probably the first that we really started getting bit by the BB bug, the bases on ball bug. 27 walks, but 90 strikeouts. So still good numbers for the staff the staff. Again, maybe Tuesday's an outlier. Maybe it's just one of
Yeah.
those nights they weren't
Well,
at
I
their
mean,
best.
think about it, Paul. Pretty much one guy pitched is going to be pitching on weekends
Yes. Yeah.
regularly, which would be Stack Miser.
Stack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Who was
at least
incredible the other night, right?
right.
In the Rhode
And
Island game. Yeah.
and from my point of view, you guys were watching on TV. I mean, from what some online people were saying that he got squozed.
Yeah.
They
You got
squeezed him.
squeezed a
They
little bit.
squeezed
Yeah.
him, particularly that 3-2. Maybe it was a
Uh,
2-2 pitch or a 3-2 pitch that walked,
mhm.
or maybe it was ball three that they called. It should have been strike three, and then
Right.
which led to the grand slam.
Yeah.
Which
It
there
just
was just a
imploded.
lot. Things snowballed. The misplayed balls led to the another grand slam,
Exactly.
and then
Yeah.
two thrown away double play balls led to this getting out of that freezing ass cold weather, and then an early, miserable,
It
miserable
was welcome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
metal bleachers and cold wind, and yeah,
Mm.
it was
and it's
not
not
fun.
like it's an enclosed stadium like the Joe, where it was just kind of like a big, just open field almost. Yeah. JT Blackwood, I mean, was amazing at Sanford, 6 scoreless innings. Here, again, upgrading competition, and he certainly he walked the guy, gave up a couple of little bleeders that could have gotten out of that first inning scoreless realistically.
Yes.
And then the errors started to pile up a little bit. So I mean, I'm not so concerned about JT. I think the broadcast crew that they had on the network, and it's a couple of Southern Miss guys, former player, and I can't remember who they were. Um, I thought those guys did a really good job, because they're homers, but they're not, they weren't overly homer for that team, but they nailed it. And I mean, they maybe had talked to Rob, or maybe I'd heard Roger and him talk about it. JT's got to have command of the fastball, and he's got to have it early. I mean, obviously he's got to have it early, because he's not going to last a long time in these games if he doesn't. He just didn't seem to have real good command of it. Got deep into counts. Guys are and when you're having to throw better pitches to guys, and you're not able to nip around the edges. At at Sanford, he was just in command all night.
Oh wow,
Here
yeah.
just wasn't the case. And I mean, this is a team, Megan. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't want to be real and get into too much hyperbole. I mean, that might be a top 10, 15 team in the country. Uh, you know, Not just because they, went belt to ass on us, But but I mean that could very well be that team this year.
Oh, I mean, I very much agree with that. Like, I mean, Southern Miss is always good. Southern Miss is someone you
Mhm.
don't ever want in your regional, and
No.
as we've learned, you don't really want to go there for a regional either.
Hmm.
Um,
or a
so
regular
like, I'm
Yeah.
not shocked necessarily by like the outcome. I just hate how sideways it went so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate how we contributed to it so much, and you know it's bad enough what they can do to you when you're compounding it by not catching that ball going out, you know, Holt going out into right field and can't catch that ball that would have been the third out, or this ball just kind of dry, look like somebody hitting a pitching wedge in between LeBron and Steele in right field, and was out of LeBron's range, and Steele isn't there, laying out diving for it just because he probably ain't played right field enough to do, to understand that, or Osterhaus doesn't catch just a straight up fly ball. Um, we botched it. The last play of the game, and I think I tweeted this. It's just very fitting because we've not been in rhythm all year. It's almost like a little bit like the Auburn basketball team. Let's just give it feels like that team doesn't play well together, right? I mean, there's a lot of talent out there, a lot of good guys. It's almost like they don't know each other on the court and they don't have a good feel. I feel like we don't have that in our middle infield sometimes, right? I mean, you don't, right, Drew? You're
He,
seeing a lot of double plays that aren't being connected and completed.
I think Auburn has too many forwards.
Yeah,
They have two guards. Maybe we have too many
yeah,
designated hitters. I don't know. I think that's kind of is a little bit of we do have several DH type players, but
right.
yeah, that's a good analogy. Hopefully we can fix things, but I feel like, baseball, you have all those guys. I think we've done a good job with roster construction.
Yeah,
Maybe I think also injuries have played a role.
exactly.
Holt has played
Right.
every inning at second because JoJo Williamson and Will Ryan are hurt. So you might see those guys.
Yeah,
Jojo,
yeah.
Or
Jojo did play one inning.
He got in the inning,
okay,
yeah,
He
okay,
actually made a play. He pinch ran for
mhm,
Brennan and scored a run, and then came back.
in
Played
Rhode
a
Island
little.
game.
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. I didn't know if he could
He
swing
can't
the
swing the
bat.
bat, but he can.
yeah,
He
yeah.
can field right now.
Okay,
Hmm. But yeah, Drew, I mean, it just feels like there's a. It's just not all clicking with they're just not gelling real well. And
yeah.
it's not that it's not that I don't like the guy next to me. I'm the shortstop. I don't like the third baseman or the second base. It's just not gelling right now.
Yeah, a couple years ago, LeBron had Eblin for most of
Mhm.
that year.
Right.
Had Max Grant a couple games.
Mhm.
Last year, I think we rotated second. It was Norton and Staten, and
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Young played a little
A
bit.
number. Yeah. Three different guys
Feel
probably.
like
Yeah.
so last year it looked cleaner, maybe when at the double play combination than it does right now. But
Right. Hmm.
Osterhaus played second base most of last year. He's played a lot of second base. I
Hmm.
wonder, you know, maybe you put him there and just see if something changes there.
Something clicks. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it clicks there defensively, and then maybe that
Hmm.
carries over to the plate. Put him in,
Right.
and then what do you do with Holt? I mean, he hasn't been bad at the plate. He's actually,
No, he's swinging
I
back
think,
pretty well.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's
Three
got a,
double. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Three. Yeah. He's
it's
piling
kind
up
of hard to
bases. Yeah.
just maybe he's better in left field. I don't know. So he's
Yeah.
kind of you can't just throw him to the bench because he is
No,
played
he's
deep. Okay, I mean,
mhm.
so
two
you got to
two
figure
eighty
some things out.
six, 286, slugging 500.
I mean,
Drawn
you'd
some walks, striking out
like
a
a
lot.
little better, but who else are you
Mhm.
going to put there that's healthy? So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your roster is what it is. It's just finding the right thing to quit. Roger, as you see that, what you saw Tuesday night, I I shudder to think what that looks like against an SEC team when we play Florida or Tennessee. When you know in the schedule as it goes, um, do you see? Do you need a big overhaul of that before you get an SEC play, or do you think what's there has the potential to improve along or to be competitive? We can still be competitive. I mean, it's just can
right.
are you destined to be with that lineup win one game a weekend and go 10-20 in the conference? You know,
Well, we just gotta hope that things will turn around. And that,
yeah,
I mean, it's early.
yeah,
Eventually you are what you have put out
yeah.
there.
You get what you deserve at some point.
And
You are what you are.
they, but they they work hard. I see them in
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
They they work hard at all in all aspects, and you think hopefully that'll eventually pay off. I mean,
Mhm.
there's been some bad break. Obviously, the injuries have
The injuries, yeah.
moved people around, and maybe
Guys
if you
out there,
haven't had to change what you
yeah,
were doing all fall and the first
right,
part of January, maybe things are flowing a little better. But I
right.
mean, they're together so much that even at that, I mean, they practice a lot and they practice,
Mhm.
they have long practice. I mean, in baseball, you practice a whole lot,
A lot, yeah. A lot of hours, a lot of
a
hours.
lot of hours, even when you're off, you're on they
Mhm.
do stuff on their own. And
Mhm.
so, hopefully something will click and gel. And,
Mhm.
and we were talking about the first week, we had several hard hit balls that either just went foul or
Mhm.
right at people. And now the last few games, we hadn't had quite as many
Hadn't had as
hard hit
much.
balls.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. The good news is, okay, again, we're a little doom and gloom right now just because Tuesday night was rough. We're still kind of getting shaking off the cobwebs. I think the good news is what we line up on the mound Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then what comes in behind them in our high leverage situations, uh, you know, high burger, you name it. Beyond that, I mean, we got 6 or 8 guys that I think are going to be legitimate SEC, highly competitive arms that are going to keep us in games, or at least keep us close enough that this lineup ought to do enough to keep us in games, right? I mean, you're facing give up home run here. It just is what it is. I mean, the way you throws a lot of breaking balls, and if you don't locate them right and they're sitting on them, there you go.
Just don't walk anybody
Don't
first.
walk them. Yeah,
Make it a
exactly.
solo. Make it a solo, or don't
Right.
hit. In his case,
Yeah,
don't
don't
hit
hit
somebody.
guys. Yeah, don't
Mhm.
Yeah.
hit guys, but you got
Hit
to,
it.
make the routine plays. Turn that double play when it's right in front of you. Catch the fly ball in left field. Make the
Field bunt. Make
yeah,
make
yeah,
plays on
bunt, yeah,
bunts. How many bunt
exactly.
hits have we? We've given up 5 bunt hits, I believe.
Yeah, I think though I don't know how the scouting report is out on us 9 games in about the just bunt on them because
Yeah.
it seems to be. But if the defense can at least just it doesn't have to be the 2023 defense. All right, I mean that'd be great. We need it
Yeah.
with if you had the 2023 defense and this pitching staff, which you kind of had back then too. You're in a little better shape, but it's pretty clear to all of us, I think, that you're gonna have to do some things better to make up for what I don't think we're gonna do offensively, right, Megan?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
agree with me. Go
you
ahead.
can like we definitely have, this amazing pitching staff that we do, but we got the defense to be there and we got to get hits.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pitching can't get us runs, and that's
Mhm.
when we're against Rhode Island, 24 strikeouts, 25 left on base.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
that's not good numbers.
Right. Right. We need an extra run and a half a game on average, Drew, from somewhere, whether it's defense, whether it's plus defense or it's
We need to
pitching.
save more runs
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we
because
don't need to put
because
19 on the board on Friday, and we need we need 10 every night. Yeah,
we're not. Oh yeah. On
You meant
I-
defensively, right, Roger?
defense.
Save
Yeah, yeah,
save
yeah,
runs defensively.
yes,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. Um, Back to Tuesday real quick. Bobby Alcock looked good.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Smyers was good.
Mhm. Yep, late in that game. Yes.
Late for his little part. He ended up
Yeah. Smyers went an inning in the third, gave up a run, walked a
he
guy,
walked a
struck out.
guy, and
Yep.
then
Hmm.
then the error on the double
Is
play.
it? Yeah, yeah.
That
Alcock went an inning 2/3, gave up 2 hits, walked a guy, but struck out two, didn't give up a run.
yeah,
So, yeah, by the time those guys are in, it was already, what, 10, 12. They already had, 12 runs going forward.
right.
But yeah, that was good to see a little
And
rebound.
and so that was that I kind of misspoke because like Bobby, we probably will see Bobby at some point on weekends.
Yeah, yeah.
In a out of the pen. Obviously not
Uh-huh.
unless something happens to one of those other three. You're not going to be starting there. And
Right.
obviously, and Layman will probably have a role as a one inning or a
Mhm.
couple of lefties come up or something, and then
Yeah.
and Steckniser. hopefully that was an anomaly.
Yeah,
Based
rough
on his
night.
based on his
Rough night.
Sanford numbers, he doesn't walk
Mhm.
guys, and then but
Right.
he did the other night. So
Definitely did or not. Had a great game. Was that game two of the game two of the series? No, yeah, game two of the series. Uh, Coming in behind Sam Mitchell, who had a rough night. Um, in behind
yes,
Zane, but Evan comes in and really locks up the last 7 outs of that game with 3 strikeouts. Gives it, just basically perfect two and a third inning. So when he came in the other night, I was like, oh, good, maybe he can calm this thing
do
down, but
that.
it just
Yeah,
wasn't going to happen. Yeah, and you're going
and
to
you
see that. You're going to
and you
see that with
mentioned
these guys.
the other night during that game, you mentioned when Lehman got out of that situation, we thought, hey, we're
Yeah,
in good shape right here
it's
because I
big.
think
Yeah, it was
it
big.
was great to
Felt
get
big.
out of to close that out like that. But
Uh-huh.
then the next inning,
It just went
it
to
went,
hell. Yeah,
yeah, what the hell?
yeah. Right. Back to Rhode Island, and again, we came into the weekend just reeling from a 5 game start at a 214 average, and just like what are these guys even walking up there with a bat for? It was that bad. And I mean, we came out with a vengeance on Friday night, Megan. I got the wrong game up, but I mean, if I pull it up, I think we were, we win 19-4. We pound out 15 hits. We drew 6 walks. We only struck out 6 times. Just a great night all around. A big night for LeBron. You like to see LeBron piling up the numbers. You feel like, or well, you hope he doesn't. Even like Southern Miss the other night, they hit him twice. He really only gets like 2 hacks at the ball all night, and you feel like that's going to be an issue all year. I certainly do.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. The one he hit the first inning, he hit it pretty
Yeah.
deep
Uh,
up against the fence, and then had a ground ball, and then
mm,
and then gets thrown in on
right.
and gets hit twice. So
Mhm.
that's just kind of he's taking the walks and the hit batters,
Yeah.
and
Right. He's not being impatient, but I mean,
yeah,
you do
it's
get a sense that he's maybe start pressing a little in games
he,
like the other night because he
he's
knows
very
he's not going to get a lot of shots to swing the bat.
he's going he very well. Did you could you tell on TV that when he stole third base where he was?
Mhm. It seemed like he was like halfway. Yeah.
He was past the
Yeah.
shortstop before the guy even went to the mound. I mean, like he could have
Yeah.
crawled with us. Like, it was
It's
just
almost like they conceded the base to him. And I mean, his speed and his skill running the bases is such that it's just, pretty much a marvel. Megan, we batted Brady Neal behind him in the third hole on Friday night. I have to look the rest of the weekend. Brady goes 3 for 3 that night. I mean, that certainly helps LeBron. Yet, is your concern that they're going to keep kind of working around him and say, well, LeBron ain't gonna beat me. I'm gonna make Brady Neal beat me, or Torres, or Purdy, or whoever is beyond that.
I mean, 100%, the script was written before the season started and kind of,
Mm,
Ron's gonna get limited chances at best, and if he takes advantage of it, cool. If not, take the free base and do what you can do there. And then we got to make sure we have someone. And
I
Brady
would
3 for 3 is good,
yeah.
I would
Hmm.
behind it.
imagine it might be Luke Vaughn
Could be
tomorrow.
Vaughn. Yeah, could be. Yeah, the way he's swinging it. Yep. 5 guys have a multi-hit game that night. LeBron gets 3 hits, draws in 5 runs. A 19-run outburst. Faye's good into the fifth, and gives up the homer, and we run rule them that night. Layman goes an inning, gives up a hit. That's it. We got to see Owen Smart. Damn, says his name wrong. Smart. Sparna. I'm sorry.
Sarna.
Sarna. I'm sorry you get his name wrong. They've got misspelled in the box. That's why I was like, wait a minute. It's no, they got it right. It looks like Sama, but it's Sarma. Yeah,
Sarna.
I can't get it right. He goes an inning. I think it's the first time we'd seen him all year. Gives up 2 hits and a run. So it's good to see him out there in a very low leverage situation. You hope to see more of him as the year goes on. Then as we get into Saturday, another good outing from Zane Adams, Drew, but not his best, but all you can ask for, I think, from your starters, especially against SEC players, is chew up innings and keep us in games.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, he wasn't dialing up 95, 96 with regular or like 95 like he
Hmm.
was the first weekend, but he was still getting up there, a lot of 92,
Hmm.
93, maybe he hit 94 a time or two, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was pretty good. I think better than most all of his games last year, I thought.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think he's still on a great trajectory. Not walking guys, that's the most important
No,
thing. I
no
think
walks.
the
Two
home
starts,
run,
no walks.
I think the home run he gave up was probably, you see the 9-hole hitter, a catcher with no hits. I mean, you think you'd probably just get one over on a guy like that, and the guy just crushed it. So the first pitch, so
Yeah.
that happens. I'm looking forward to see him against Oregon State. We're not going to face their top guy. I
The
think
top arm.
the second guy is a guy named Williamson, I think, or Wilhelmson.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Kleinschmidt. I was
Okay.
totally off. But that should be a good matchup. So looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing how Zane does against some really good
Yeah.
competition this weekend.
Yeah. The best thing I saw all day, and it wasn't an Alabama uniform. It is Jaden Tolentino, the catcher, a freshman catcher who's from Rhode Island, had two at bats going into the game. Um, Goes 2 for 3 with two bombs. I mean,
Tanks,
I mean,
yes.
just absolute tanks. I mean, that guy. I mean, all right, everybody, find the guys. Find his socials. Start talking the guy up because I'd love to see that guy in crimson. The way he swings.
Yes.
I mean, the ball off that guy's bat sounded different.
And
We say that a lot, but it sounded
and
different.
the Santos kid that came in to pitch,
Yeah, yeah,
shorter guy that was throwing 95, 96.
uh-huh.
And the
Yeah,
sophomore, I mean, like he pitched for him last year too.
Mm.
I
yeah.
would expect those two to be in
High demand.
down south somewhere in a
Yeah,
different
high
uniform
demand.
next
Yeah,
year.
they can certainly. I mean, you swing like that, the way that guy swings. And again, I mean, it's typical Megan, right? I mean, you're these early season, you're going to see two or three guys like that. You might see three or four guys that that you suspect could maybe pitch in SEC play, or be a medium leverage or low leverage guy in SEC play. But you just don't have the depth to sustain a 3 game series.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. And we'll always have a couple that it's like, all right, hopefully you like your visit to Tuscaloosa, and we can
Yeah,
we can arrange that down the
right,
road. But
right.
Well,
it,
yeah,
Tommy Seidel.
Tommy Seidel, yeah, the Tommy Seidel effect. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Think of that. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys come. You play, basically you play three weekends at the Joe in these preseason. I call them preseason. Every year. I mean, who else have we seen that we've picked? I mean,
Well, that was several years ago. The lefty from South Dakota. They,
uh,
they were going to shut the program down the next year.
okay.
Megan, you remember that guy?
yeah, I
Drew?
don't remember his name, but yeah.
Drew, you remember? Um, I can't remember his name, but I mean, we
Hmm.
were thinking like, I mean, it was a 1-0 game,
Hmm.
and like, they obviously had not been out. It was first opening weekend, I believe, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
hadn't been outside all year.
No.
He comes
No.
and he just shot. It was kind of like Jacob Meyer from Nichols when they came to
He
the.
from yeah, in
Yeah.
that
I
that
thought that
series.
guy, and it took him 2 more years before he got to LSU, and
Uh-huh.
he still never threw. He never threw another strike. It doesn't
He
seem like.
never
Yeah.
did. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
He
Lord, he
still might not
shoved
be great.
against us.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about that a lot. It's like, hey, I want to see that guy. And we never seem to pick him up. I mean, we get other guys, but it's I don't know how many of these teams that play a team like that end up picking up guys the next year. I mean, it'd be interesting to track it.
There are two guys that I internally thought in my mind a couple years back that we
Uh,
got. I
yeah.
don't know if you guys will remember them. Matt Gussetti was
Yeah.
one after he hit that
Yeah.
home run, and then Aiden Mosa was the other one. He
Yes,
Aiden
absolutely
Moses. So
shoved it
Aiden
up
Moses at
as a
UAB.
freshman at UAB.
twice he shoved against us.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
He's
and
only like
really good.
96, 7. I mean,
Yeah, we
it's
could not touch him. Very good for us in 23, and unfortunately, just kind of fell off the
uh,
face of the earth the last 2 years.
yeah.
But
Tell him about Gassetti. Where do we see Gassetti?
he hit that home run.
In the SEC tournament.
Yeah, off
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
Antoine John. First
Yeah.
pitch, he comes in. We're down maybe 2 or 3. Gussetti's catching just because our buddy BT Ripel could DH
Yeah.
because they had to play 2 games. And, just he was hitting like 230. Had some pop, obviously, but
Right.
just crushed it out of the stadium. Well, BT comes back the next year, and Gussetti wants to play, gets in the portal, and we're able to get him. And he was a great
Pot-
player for us, I thought.
Potty mouth BT.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With their children sitting here. Obviously, you've seen Garrett Staten, Norton, some guys like that. But I don't remember them like just shredding us like some of these guys that you see really running up numbers on you. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. You just see Tommy hit that home run against us in
Yeah.
2021.
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
COVID year.
Because
COVID year. Yeah.
they only played 6 games that year,
Yeah.
and didn't play
Yeah.
a single game the next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right, well keep your eye out for we got one more weekend of this with North Florida coming to town. We got a guy from North Florida this year, obviously, that on our team that in our bullpen. All right, so then we go to Saturday. We're talking a little bit about it. Zane has a decent night. We talked about Steckmesser. Surprised how rough that outing was for Steckmesser Tuesday, Roger, after seeing what he did Saturday.
Yes, because he was just locating everything he threw. I mean, he was just on.
Yeah.
Weather was a lot better on Saturday than it was on Tuesday night. Home crowd against the big crowd down there, but
Yeah.
and I think he can't really tell from my point of view, but I think he got that he did get squeezed.
Yeah,
on a couple of counts. So
right.
And then giving up gets the bases loaded, and then the guy kid from Shelton, or that went to Shelton, just
Yeah, as we learned.
that had the illegal bat apparently.
Yeah. And so we ended up doing a doubleheader on Saturday, which I'm a big proponent of these doubleheaders on Saturday because it saves me one more. It gives me a day at home. I got tax returns done. I got laundry done. I got all kind of things done Saturday. I would have had no shot of getting done on Sunday if we'd have had been right back on the road there that day. But good. Rob talked about it a little bit, just the mental makeup of the team, Meghan, and how it's like how well they adjusted, how well they were focused on these 2 games on Saturday, when only finding out 3 or 4 hours before the first one that it was going to be 2.
Yeah, and I think that's a good sign of like this team is able to adjust and be able to balance pretty quickly, it seems. So, I think from a mental side of things, that feels promising for however the season continues to play out, of like that bounce back, that adjustments are there, clearly.
Yeah.
Johnny Lim, big game, big.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was gonna say. Yeah, go ahead.
3 for 3, 4 runs scored, hit by a pitch, his first home run, took a bag.
Yeah. The Rangers waving the flag in the outfield is awesome, and a great
his
video.
His dad sitting there with us enjoying.
Yeah,
that was good.
So people don't know. Again, he's from Brisbane, Australia.
Right.
His dad's been up for 3 weeks or a month. Flew back Wednesday. Back, great guy. I mean, just he's the stereotypical Australian guy that you would expect, right? Calls you mate and all that.
Oh yeah.
Super, great guy. One game, it may have been after Saturday, the post game press conference with Rob, and he always has a player or two. Well, he had Johnny, there that night. That was a really neat. So his dad is there sitting in the front row down there by us and gets to see his first home run in Crimson, or it wasn't camouflage. I guess it was camouflage the next game.
It was. But looking at the scorebook, Fowler had 2 hits, and then LeBron, Neal, and Torres all were 0 for. And then the bottom from Johnny down, 3 for Johnny, 2 for Luke with a double and a home run. Osterhaus got a single, Peyton got a single, and Holt got a single. So more of from the 5-hole down that scored all the runs.
Yeah, this game was in play all night. I mean, they in the 7th inning, with the struggles Mitchell had early in the inning, they put a 3 spot up on the board and cut this game to a 6-5 game, and we answered with a couple runs late, so that certainly helped to
Johnny answered with a home run.
Johnny did. Yep,
bottom half, and then and then Brady squeezed Mike, brought Holt in.
That's it. Yeah, that did the other one. Yep. So another good outing for Zane Adams, and then game 3. If you're new to this, and certainly we're not, you just have to understand when you go 3 games with a team like this, if you're a degenerate gambler, this is the game that you load up on the SEC team or the big favorite team, because that team is gassed. They don't have the pitching depth. They don't have the hitting. It's you're gonna have in even in SEC play. Hell, you have Sunday games that go 18-13 or 14-12. I mean, it's just very typical. Teams don't have the pitching depth. Feel like we do. I mean, I don't feel like we're going to have a lot of those games, frankly, because we're not going to put those runs up. But you go out and you do what you're supposed to do against this team and put up a bunch of runs, and then kind of pour it on late on their bullpen and win at 11-1. Drew, your thoughts on Game 3 that night?
Yeah. I think, like I said earlier, still too many strikeouts and men left on
Yeah,
base. I think
yeah.
we got four, I think, in the bottom of the eighth, maybe
Yeah,
to
five.
five. Okay. So yeah, I think a lot of people look at the score and didn't watch the game.
Uh,
I'm not going to say I love the game just for that reason. I still just think
mhm.
we kind of struggled through it. Miles was very good through 5 innings. He
Yes.
looked complete command out there. So just was happy to see him play. We took out Lim at the DH spot for Plattner, I guess, just to get him some
Mhm.
at bats. I thought we kind of did that a little early in the game, but yeah, I think Lim and Luke Vaughn had some really nice weekends. Luke struck out his first four at bats, and he's really come this year, and he's really come on well since, and
Coming around.
he's
Yeah.
hitting home runs against good teams on the road now.
Mhm.
So those two guys, I think, probably should be your 3 and 4 in some order, and then I like the way Neil has mostly played. I don't know that he's a three-hole
Uh-huh.
hitter, but he's definitely a
Yeah.
starting catcher, I
He
think.
might be a
So
three-hole hitter on this team. He probably doesn't feel like a three-hole hitter, but he feels like on this
yeah,
team.
and he's probably a 6, and I think he's going to have
Mhm.
a solid year behind the plate,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah. Actually, second on the team in hitting. He's at
Yeah.
348. He's behind only John Lim is at 353. 8 hits. He's got a homer. He's got a double. So I mean, yeah, he's swinging the
hmm
bat well.
Well, he can handle the bat.
And he can handle it. Yes,
Probably the
Yeah.
best
exactly.
runner on the team. He
Hmm.
walks, he gets hit. Very versatile.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
And like we all said earlier, he could play second base or
Yeah.
field.
Right. Right.
Um,
Big home run this game from JT kind of later on. I mean, just
he
destroyed
crushed
that
it.
ball.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we were even talking about is like, man, at some point is JT not swinging it well enough, and do you drop him in the 6 hole or the 7 hole or the 8 hole? But then he goes and then you see why it feels like amongst the guys on this team almost, Megan, why you kind of have to have him up in that top, either at 3, 4, or 5, right?
Yeah, I mean, I felt vindicated, and he was my batting choice for
Exactly. Yep.
last week, and then that kind of came through, kind of showing of like
Hmm.
when he gets a hold of it, like it's gonna get a hold of it. It
Hmm.
might be a little streaky at times,
Hmm.
but like the power is definitely there, and kind of in that
Yeah.
3-4-5 is, especially with the lineup we've been rolling out, is
Right.
kind of where it makes sense to have him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Miles Upchurch, again, five inning performance. I really liked, and I think I tweeted about this. He goes out there. There's one out in the 5th. He's got guys on base. JJ comes out, talks to him, and I can't remember if he talked to him after the 2 outs or after the 1 out. And he gets a couple of big strikeouts. He got Henschel, and he got Tolentino. Then he got Henschel. Well, Tolentino's the guy that's banging the balls off the scoreboard out there. So the last 2 guys he got, he strikes them out. He just, Roger, doesn't look like a freshman out there.
No,
That was his second
exactly.
game. It's a little bit different, very special.
But yeah, he is. He's the next great one. He's the next Hess, Riley,
Yeah.
quick type guy, size
Right.
wise, and what he's going to be, velo wise, and just
Mhm.
like carries himself like a professional.
Right. The maturity, what you see on the mound there, I mean, that maybe it might throw off a freshman in a normal situation. Hey, I start worrying about the runner too much, or I start, I get out of my rhythm. He just goes out and gets the guys. He's got a little bulldog in him. Strikes out the last 2 guys, and
And he just gets the ball and pitch. I mean, he doesn't waste time. He's
No.
just like, give me the ball, let's go.
Yeah,
And,
definitely, but yeah, professional. Throws a lot of off-speed stuff. He's got a great changeup. We talked about last week. He's got a great breaking ball. The fastball is going to get better. I mean, the fastball is good. It's 93.45. I expect that's going to be 5, 6, 7, and next year and the year after, and beyond. But the change up at 18 or 19 or whatever he is, I mean, it's just you don't see that. I don't think you don't see a guy who is that polished with it and that confident enough to throw it at any count at any time, right, Drew?
Yeah, and I think the one thing that was probably the good thing about the offense not picking it up was that
Mm-hmm.
this was like somewhat of a high
Yeah,
leverage
it
situation
very,
for him. So
very
that's good that
exactly.
he was able to, you know, he didn't pitch. We weren't up 18-0 when he was
No.
pitching. It was a lot closer. So that's what,
Mm-hmm.
you want your guys to hit home runs and score 10 runs every inning, but they're not
Mm-hmm.
going to. So you want your freshman pitcher to pitch with maturity. And that's what he did. When he struck out Tolentino on that pitch, man, that was incredible. I mean, Tolentino had 2 home runs in that first game. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I wonder if they'd faced each other like in any kind of ball
Yeah,
because
maybe so.
Miles is
Yeah,
from that up
same
that
region.
way, or yeah. So you never know.
Virginia.
Oh, he's
So
Virginia.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Will Ryan's dad, Will Ryan and Miles played travel ball together forever.
Mm-hmm.
And Dwayne Ryan was their coach.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
some of the other kids from up that way, even some of the Jersey guys played with them on occasion.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Caleb, being from Pennsylvania, really instead of Mountain Brook, he played
Hmm.
he played with them a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah. To your point, Drew, when Upchurch left the game after the top of the fifth, it was only 3-0. And then we
Oh
picked up,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we picked up
So.
3 runs, and then we got one in the we got 5 in the 8th. So that is
Mhm.
so yeah, he's pitching without a lot of run support. I mean, it felt like it's like, hey, you got to keep these guys at
Yeah.
0 or 1 or 2 runs because we ain't generating any offense tonight. Well, we did later. But as long as he was in there, he certainly did that. He strikes out 7, only walks 1. I mean, great. You look up and down you look at him and what Adams are doing, and as far as striking out guys and walks and that ratio, you got to feel really, really, really good about that. The last thing I'd talk about in this game, Austin Morris comes in those 2 really good innings. The only mental lapse, and we've seen this from Austin before, where he maybe just a lapse where you walk a guy, then you throw a pass ball or you throw a wild pitch or something like that. He leadoff guy gets a walk. He gets down to second, and really they didn't do much beyond that. They just
Two ground balls.
ground the
Yeah.
ball and they got a run. Well, I mean it's okay. You throw 2 innings, you give up 1 run when you're up. What we're up. What are you seeing out of him, Roger? You seen pretty vast improvement from day one when he got on
Oh yeah.
campus. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. He's improved year by year.
Mm-hmm.
Not kind of like the Braylon Myers
Mm-hmm.
progression, but not quite to Braylon's
Yeah.
performance. But
Yeah.
he is somebody that can help and go multiple innings too. Like,
Yeah.
it can be early, it can be mid game, it can be late.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as he keeps his concentration and doesn't let the walk bother him.
Yeah. Yeah. When the guy gets on base and he starts getting a little when his tempo slows down,
Mhm.
when he starts throwing over to first too much, I mean that's when I think he gets a little bit sideways and
Yeah.
when they get to him. The last thing, Matthew Heiberger. Those a scoreless inning, gives up 3 pretty inconsequential ground balls in that game, and then to end the inning, and then we go out and bang out 5 runs and win it. Help me with my role for Matthew Heiberger, Megan, because my concern is that we're not going to use him enough, and that we need to be using him more at some point. Not that it matters in week 2, but help me with your ideal, where I see Matthew Heiberger this weekend, for instance.
You know, don't know. I
Yeah.
agree that I don't know if we're gonna end up using him enough. And like I don't necessarily think it's like, oh, he's that closer role. Like he is that high leverage
Yeah.
guy, like when you need outs. But when that is, I don't know. And I don't know,
Right.
when's gonna be that moment that we're bringing him in too early or if we're bringing him in too late. I feel like it's gonna be a
Mhm.
very fine line.
Yeah. Drew, you like him more coming in behind Fay on Friday night and then maybe Upchurch on Sunday? Give me 2 innings each day, or do you like him more morphing into kind of the Osmer role where you're the closer and you come
Yeah.
in the 8th or the 9th? And where do you see that evolving?
I hope we don't. I hope we have three guys with 4, 5, 6 saves each this year. But I think with Heiberger, my prediction this weekend, if that game is close on Friday, he'll be the first guy in the pen after
Yeah. Hmm.
after Fay.
And
So
Faye.
yeah, I think that's kind of either if it's to hold a 6-2 lead or maybe it's 5-5. I mean, I think if we're down
Hmm.
7-2, he probably won't come in. But yeah, unless it's like the fourth inning and we got to try
Yeah.
to keep them from scoring more. But I my prediction is he's the first guy out of the pen
Yeah.
Friday.
Roger, where do you want to see him? And if you see him in that role, like Drew's talking about, where do we go for closer? Because at some point, I like Drew's idea. You get a bunch of guys that close, but at some point, you probably end up with a closer.
Yeah.
Who is
Well, I
that?
mean, Humphrey
Hmm.
to me, and provided he bounced back from it, he's just had the one inning
Yeah.
appearance. Unless I just wanted him to work, there wasn't any point in him pitching Tuesday.
Yeah.
Um, you know, particularly late. And Hagan hasn't thrown it except for that Sanford game.
No.
Mhm.
Right.
He was out, lights out.
And he was lights out. Yeah.
So that,
Lights out.
hopefully, could be a three-headed monster of closing types guys.
Hmm.
But I would think of the three, if you're just going to have a closer, Humphrey would be more
Hmm.
the Osmer
Okay.
role, but not pitch 3 times in a week.
Mhm.
No.
Not
Okay.
close on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Right. Right. I
Mix it
see.
up a little bit, but he
Yeah.
might be the primary because, and then Hagan, could go more in. Hopefully now with his arm, he
Yeah.
pitched two
He's a
great
little
innings the
strong.
other
A little
day.
strong.
So hopefully, if needed, he could go two or three, and
Hmm.
Matty can go anywhere from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, although he hadn't been stretched out in a while, but he was pitching as a starter in the scrimmages early.
Yeah.
Um,
Megan, or go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, so I think more like kind of what maybe Friday and Sunday,
Well,
or
that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Is it reasonable? You've seen teams. I mean, Tennessee did it. Vitello did it. Was his left-hander guy, the guys on the staff now in Tennessee that did?
Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby
Kirby Connell.
looked
I
like
mean,
he was a
that guy threw
NASCAR
every
guy.
night.
Mm.
He threw a couple innings every night. I mean, Matty feels like that guy to me. Like he can do that. He's pretty efficient when he's out there. If you don't wear him out warming up, if you go ahead and get him warmed up and get him in there, and you get 2 innings out of him Friday, he feels like a guy that could come back late in the game on Sunday behind. I almost feel like you've got to lean. I mean, again, we're not in a desperate situation in the season right now. We're about to get an SEC play in 2 weeks. You know, you've got to figure out a role for him in my mind, and I hope it's in that a little more extended innings, and that he just chews up a lot of innings, and that we figure out how to close games without him.
He's too good not to use.
Yes, yes,
He's too
right,
valuable to, like you say, try to hold him for something that might not
yeah,
happen,
exactly,
and not use him. So
right,
anytime Megan was saying, anytime it's an important situation, if it's
uh-huh,
in the third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, sixth,
mhm,
like, okay, we need something happen,
right,
Tyler or Miles
mhm,
or somebody, they could only get four. All right,
mhm.
well, let's go 5, 6, and 7th inning,
Let's get 5, 6, 7.
and
Give me an
then
inning on Sunday. Yeah,
work it out with
yeah,
other guys, whether it's Steckmeiser, Hagan,
mhm,
Humphrey,
yeah,
Morris at the back end. So
right. And then just hopefully you don't see him in midweek games. Hopefully we got enough to handle midweek games and we don't, fool with it. But I mean, we've lost a midweek game. Okay, we're not going to go undefeated midweek games, but let's make sure we win the rest of them. All right, looking ahead to this weekend because we only look forward here, right? It we go to Frisco. We got these three. Um, if Alabama sweeps this weekend, Megan, give me the headline on Sunday. How did that happen? What's the story behind us sweeping the weekend? Top, somebody pitching, somebody hitting. Who carries the weekend if we sweep it?
I mean, it's definitely got to be the pitching staff
Hmm.
and, just shut down, lights out.
Yeah.
Starters came in, gave us 6 innings each.
Hmm. Okay. And if in these three games, where do you see the biggest hurdle to that happening? Which one's the which one scares you the most?
Probably Oregon State, I
Probably
would
Oregon.
say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Drew, how about you? What's the headline if we sweep it?
The headline, if we sweep it, obviously, like Megan said, pitching, we got to pitch, but
Mhm.
LeBron's got to play like a superstar
Yes.
again, and someone else is going to have to come out of nowhere and just have a monster weekend. I don't know if
Right.
that's a current starter who's hitting 150 or if it's someone like they just throw in there and that
Mhm.
hasn't played much at all. Like, it could be a Purdy or a Hines or
Right.
someone, but someone's really got to step up and, be another force. So if we sweep, I think that's what would be the headline.
Right.
Obstacles to us not doing that would be the fact that we have not done really anything that I have
Yeah.
suggested we possibly could do.
Gotcha. All right, Roger. Roger.
Uh,
On a
the,
positive note, no, but I mean, you're right. I mean,
the,
there's nothing wrong about that. I mean, it's like you
right.
have a hard time watching that first foray into difficult competition Tuesday and just thinking, okay, we're cool for the weekend. But
Yeah.
Roger, what do we got to do this weekend, or
Um,
what's the headline if we sweep?
all three starters go six
If six,
plus
okay,
with giving up one or two runs or
Mhm.
less.
Okay. So starting
Um,
pitching's got to carry the day. Yep.
then the bullpen guys do their job. LeBron gets going.
Hmm.
Maybe somebody protects him, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pitches he does get, he hits. We need some doubles. We need some line drives, some doubles
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
line, some gap to gap doubles and triples like he was hitting in the scrimmages.
Mm.
He
Yes.
has, I mean, he has 5 home runs and three singles.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's
And then a
all
bunch of
kind
walks
of
and a
all or
bunch of
nothing.
hit by pitch. So if he walks, gets hit by pitch, he's going to steal two bags. But
Right.
um,
And a couple of those singles, I mean, one of them was roped. I mean, a couple of them had just been kind of,
one was a
little
blooper, one
flares.
was a
Yeah.
blooper, and one was an infield single.
Yeah.
So
Little
the
flares.
other
Yeah.
one was the other was a line
The other
drive
one
up the
was
middle.
smoked. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's what he needs that, the doubles down the line that he's had in his first 2 years,
Yeah.
the gappers in the right center and left fielder center
Right.
that turn into doubles and that he can turn into triples.
Hmm.
He needs somebody, look for maybe Johnny Lim to get his power game going a little
Hmm.
bit more. And I mean, he's been going back to last year. He's been on base 42 straight games.
Yeah.
It's walk. He has a good eye. He walks a lot more than he strikes out, and he does. We know he has pop, and he could
Yeah.
be. You said he was hitting. I mean, that first weekend he smoked three balls. It could have been.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right at guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, it had to be 110 off the bat or something.
uh,
Like the guys make good plays on, or they're right at somebody. So he's
mhm.
been consistent.
Yeah.
So if Brady has another weekend like he did, and Luke Vaughn, the way Luke Vaughn's hitting, so
Luke swinging it well.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe Luke Vaughn hit third behind
Oh,
Justin,
LeBron. Yeah.
and if you want to make a change at leadoff, Brady gets on base an
Yeah,
awful lot.
that's
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I mean,
didn't
last
think
year
about that. That's a
we flipped 1 and 9 a lot last year, but between Richie
yeah,
and Fowler, I mean, it was,
right.
kind of
And
it
then
wasn't.
maybe Bryce down at the bottom, more toward the
Yeah.
bottom, get
Right.
him going again. I mean, he was early on really got on base a lot. Was working. Every at bat was a full count.
Yeah.
And I don't know if when he jammed the hand and the thumb, if that's it affected his swing any.
It couldn't help.
Um, but he had a nice base hit first at bat against Southern, but then he struggled after that.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he was amped up one of his former teams,
Sure. Sure.
all that, and home. He had a lot of people there, and they were ragging him. The some of his fans
You'd
were
think they'd
ragging.
forget about him by now. It's been 2 years, right?
Right.
It's been a guy's
Um,
transfer.
but
Barrier. Who's the biggest hurdle this weekend? If to pulling the sweep, which is the toughest game
uh,
in your mind?
Oregon State,
Yeah.
just reputation and historically, I'd have to
Mhm.
say that. Don't know as
Right.
much about Iowa. Houston, we know a little about, but
Yeah.
I how in looking at their record, they've got a nice record. They've beaten some teams,
Yeah.
but I feel best probably about Iowa. Oregon State. But if Zane pitches like he can and
Hmm.
has,
Hmm.
he can
You're
control
in
it.
that game.
He
Yeah.
control that
Yeah.
lineup, and it's just a matter of us getting enough run
Eking
support
out
out.
offense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel very similar to, I mean, I don't think anybody here is in major disagreement. I mean, I think it's three fairly evenly matched games. I mean, you like to think that you could play Iowa 10 times and beat them 7 or 8. The Oregon State, obviously, if you're going to pick a favorite, they're probably a favorite, and then maybe your favorite over Houston, or it's a toss up. So again, three very competitive games upcoming on the weekend. For me, I think it's just a matter how do you generate offense with this lineup, because I think there's enough on film. There's enough on paper. There's probably enough, of the advanced metrics to tell you, you know, pitch LeBron inside. Don't throw at him, but throw him inside, and then if you hit him and he goes to first, great. Otherwise, don't give him anything over the plate. Make the guys around him beat you. And the bottom of our lineup has got to really step it up this weekend. I think it's been, they'll have their flashes in games. You need a big weekend out of Peyton Steele. You got to get something out of Osterhouse. I mean, it's got to start up somewhere. It kind of started up this weekend, but then it kind of looked back. During the week, it looked like it went right back where it was. So, you just can't have two guys in the lineup hitting and the rest of them just in the deep freeze, and if you do that, you might get swept. I mean, you can easily get swept or lose 2 out of 3 this weekend. You certainly don't want to do that, because while it's early and you're an SEC team and you're going to play 30 SEC games that are going to certainly help your RPI and whatever else they're going to measure, for regional seeding and that type of thing purposes. You're going to have your chances later, but you don't want to go into that season with the pressure of, well, we had 4 chances in our preseason between Southern Miss and these 3, and we laid an egg and we went 1-3, or we went 0-4, or 2-2. I mean, these are important games, and I mean they still feel like tune-ups, but Megan, I think that they're all important when you start feeling like a team like this that probably feels a little bit more like a bubble team than a 2 or 3 seed. It just based on the initial eye test, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to kind of put it already. And it's like, it's not tune-up. These are win games. These are resume
Hmm.
games that, like,
Yeah,
if we sweep this weekend, that's going to look a lot better to the committee
exactly.
come that time than it is, if they're looking back and it's like, all right, SEC is SEC, assuming the SEC is good this year, um, versus, okay, what
Hmm.
happens this weekend?
Right.
And we go 1-2.
Hmm. Yep. All right. If you're in the area, Frisco, Texas, Riders Field. It's on Friday night at 6 p.m. local time. We face Iowa. On Saturday at 4 p.m. local time, we face Oregon State. And then the weekend capper is at 3 p.m. on Sunday against University of Houston. So 3 game set. We go 6, 4, and 3. We will get out. I'll tweet out as soon as I find it all. I think I've got some of it. If you're not, it's a D1 sponsored or I don't know what it produced event. D1 baseball puts it on. You'll be able to watch the games or stream them online on D1's website. You just there may be a fee associated with it. If you're a subscriber, great. You may have to buy the
It's
premium.
$30. It's $29.99, but it's different
Okay,
from last year. So don't go off of what last year's instructions were. I'm still trying to
got it.
figure it out.
Okay, great. Right. If you see, I saw them
D1
earlier.
D1 subscription and then an additional
And
charge
then
for
Mhm.
the
right. So, and I think that but you spend the $30, you get all of 3 of our games, you get all the other probably 6 games there this weekend. You get them all, and so you can watch all weekend, and you scream on your smart TV or on your device or whatnot. We'll get it tweeted out to you, but if you're not subscribing to D1, they do great work covering the SEC, covering teams like Alabama, covering the whole landscape of
Mhm.
college baseball. So be sure to watch, folks. Any final thoughts as we sign it off for this week?
um, hmm,
Go in.
where's
Yeah, go win them. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
week.
Yeah. I had something. I can't remember what it was now.
That's all
Um,
right. No problem.
well,
That's all right.
I'm sure I'll think of it.
That's all right. Yep. All right. Follow us at Weekly Joe Pod and on Twitter. You follow Drew, you follow Roger, you follow Megan. I mean, we'll have all the everything out there. But we thank you again for joining us as you do every week. We've enjoyed producing these every single week for you. We will sign off tonight with our guy Peter Slight and his band Campland with our theme song, The Joe. And we will be right back at you here next week on the Weekly Joe podcast. Thank you.
Goodbye. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew in a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Well, it's Bama